Good morning, YouTube. It's 10 a.m. in the great state of Texas. And what are we doing today? We are working with some walnut today. So pick these up in one of those grab bags that you can get off Amazon or any like woodworking website has. These blanks obviously are supposed to be made for pins. And we're using one of our smaller bowls. And I don't know why I stuck all that pine in there because I'm trying to get rid of all this scrap wood. And I thought it would be cool to do like a walnut edged resin bowl, and that's initially what I did. So this is what I'm doing now. I'm cutting down these small pieces on the miter saw. And have you ever had one of those, instances as a woodworker where you're going something in your head trying to translate that into reality? I tried that with this one, and it totally did not work out the way I had envisioned. And yes, I know that my fingers were a little too close to that bandsaw, by the way. So here we are. I'm trying to shove all these pieces, realizing, okay, maybe this isn't the best mold to use. And I'm, trying to force them in there, but I'm trying to stuff them in. And I'm going, okay, and now my waste block is a little too big. So I'm coming back, and what we're doing is just mixing up a little bit of epoxy. So blue with some glitter, and then coming back and just kind of repeating the process. That's essentially what I was going for on this one. And from the beginning, things are just not going the way I had envisioned. So you can see there that the waste block is much bigger than the actual, bowl itself, and that the edge is just not looking right. So this is 4.5 hours in the pressure pot, and this looks like just hot garbage. The bottom kind of looks cool, but you can see where I used too much glue. And then you can see the waste block is just in there. It looks absolutely disgusting. I had some floating pieces, and I'm just like, this thing is just a mess. And it was one of those projects where I took it out of the pressure pot, and I'm going, do I even want to attempt to make something out of this? And I show failure on the channel. Like, if you go back and watch any of my videos, if I mess up, I will show failure. And this video, at the end of the project, you do have a bowl, but there were a lot of parts where I just had no idea what I was doing and definitely paid the price for it. So just decided to say, hey, screw it. Let's put this onto the lathe and just see what we get out of it. And you're about to see in a little bit, sometimes it's just better to throw stuff away. And I'm going to have to learn the hard way about that here in just a little bit. So got this on the lathe. A lot of vibrations. It's totally uneven on the actual lathe itself. A lot of rocking back and forth. And now I'm just trying to get that superficial layer off like we do with all of our bowls. And I'm just working down the material. As you saw, those little floating pieces are going to come back and bite me in the butt. So, and then again, did you see that little gap, that giant gap there? Usually, if I had time or if I was more patient, I would go back in and fill those up with epoxy before I even decided to turn it on the lathe. But I'm like, you know what? All that material is coming off anyway, and decided, hey, it's going to be a good idea just to go ahead and just take the material down and not come back with it. So, had instant chip out because I failed to actually set this up appropriately. So what I ended up doing was hitting the chisel on the edge here, and then just had a ton of chip out. And wear your face shield because these shards come off. You can see that giant chunk hit me, in the face, took some to the torso, and I knew better. So if you're a woodworker out there, if you know better, just take the time to do it right, because don't be like me. Be better than me. And obviously that's not hard to do, but so that was one of the minor problems. So once I realized that I totally had screwed up, I just came back, just kept on working the material down, and we're just trying to get everything nice and even. So here we are, made a mortise. We did this. I believe this part went pretty good, but you can see that big glob of just hot glue at the beginning where it was just looks absolutely disgusting. And we're going to have to turn this onto the lathe, or turn this around onto the chuck a little bit later in the project and try to get this to work the way that we want it to. But, after I got hit in the face, I was just kind of like, I'm totally over this. And from what I can remember, it gets worse, because look at all that material that we have to take off. So here I am, and the problem with the walnut is like the walnut and the pine, two different types of material. And all I'm trying to do is just get this edge down as much as possible, get a lot of the material worked down as best as I can. And what I can remember, this, I thought I had more problems with this, but I guess maybe not. But could have sworn I got hit in the face again. But here, you know, bam, there it is. Okay, so cool. So it's just hard to remember because I think I did this project back in January, December, somewhere in there. You guys are watching this like in May, so this is the first time I got some time to do these commentaries. So I'm just as thrown off as you are. So here we are, trying to get everything squared up. Got everything nice and even. Now we're just working down more of that material. And the sad thing is that the walnut looks absolutely gorgeous. Like, I love walnut. I love the way that looks, but it's just a sloppy blank. And you can see here on the bottom a lot of that pine board. It will save you some epoxy, but at the same time, you can see it's gonna definitely take away from the aesthetic later on in the project. And you know, I always say, you know, when I mess up, we're gonna come back and do it better, and we will. We'll come back and do this project again, obviously, and hopefully it turns out a little bit better. But this one just full of problems. I mean, if you've ever been hit with like shards of epoxy on a lathe, like, you never forget it. And I've done it so many times in my woodworking career in the 4 years that I've been doing this that I should just know better. I mean, I might title this video "You Know Better," but here we are. We're almost, you know, completely finished, getting everything worked down. And by this time, I'm pretty happy. I just want this project to kind of just be over with. But, you know, the end product doesn't look incredibly bad. It's just the getting there was the big issue with this project. So here we are. I think we're going to sand a little bit. Oh, no. So I went back. Now I remember, because the base of the bottom was a little bigger than I liked. And I think what I ended up doing there, because I obviously cut it short, was just cutting my losses and saying, hey man, just leave it alone. Just go back and just leave it alone. So instead of working that edge off on the bottom of that bowl, the bottom of the bowl is a little bit thicker than I typically would like. I just said, screw it, cut my losses. Here's all the shards and everything, and just decided to go straight into the sanding. So here we go. Here we are, going from 340 up to 1500. And to be honest, I don't think I did much on the micro mesh on this one, because there is wood there, so that kind of makes it a little bit more difficult to kind of to polish when it's like that. But you can see that white stuff on there. That's some kind of like wax or sealant that they send the actual wood blanks in. So I need to do better and take that off before I even do anything. But here's the finished project. We ended up, you know, we did survive. Thank goodness, you know, injury free. But that could have gone a lot worse. And I would say my biggest takeaway from this is be patient. If you know you're doing something wrong, don't risk injury to yourself just to get something done. But, you know, woodworkers and creatives have those days where they're just, I have those days where I'm just in there and things are just not going my way, but I just want to get it done. And this was definitely one of those projects. But we're going to come back. We're going to do this way better. We're just, it's just a lesson learned, I guess. So hope you guys got something out of this. Pretty cool aesthetic overall, but we're definitely going to come back and do this again. And here it is at the end. You can see all the screwed up pieces, but hope you liked it. Hope you got something out of it. Don't forget to subscribe, like, leave a comment. I'll see you guys in the next one. All right, peace. Okay, so project is done, and this bowl, I mean, it's a disgusting blank, and I knew that the second I set the damn thing up. I'm sure I went over that in the commentary. This walnut, though, man, it had the potential to be a lot better than how it turned out. The wax that was on it, I guess I need to take off for the next one, but we salvaged something out of it. Not our best bowl. It's been a while since we've done a combination epoxy and wood bowl on the channel, so overall, not too bad. Survived it. You can see the chunks that came off of it. So I just need to be really, and I should know this, I've been doing this for over 4 years now, and just stupid mistakes caused this bowl to nearly freaking explode. So we ended up saving a lot more of it than than I initially thought we were. You can still see some of that stupid pine in there. But next one will get better. Obviously, I always, you know, show failures on the channel regardless if it's successful or not. So hope you got something out of it. Today is December the 8th, 2022. You guys are probably watching this in March of 2023. So I hope everybody's doing well, and well, project's done. And I guess I'll see you in the next one. So don't forget to subscribe, all that good shit. See you in the next one. All right, peace.